This is my predicted Chelsea 11 to face Brighton Saturday at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. After a great week of football for Chelsea, we beat West Ham last weekend and Barrow midweek. We now shift our attention to Brighton, who we host at Stamford Bridge this Saturday. Now, I have double checked the injury list and checked on Enzo Maresca's latest press conference to make sure we are as up to date as possible. Let's get into this predicted 11. Starting off in goal, I have chosen Robert Sanchez. He is Chelsea's #1 goalkeeper and his recent form proves exactly why. At the start of the season, Enzo Maresca said he wanted Sanchez as his #1, and a lot of Chelsea fans were very confused because we thought this guy is not good enough. But his recent form, he has been on fire. He's been saving penalties, good distribution, not making any silly mistakes. So let's hope that that continues against Brighton. Moving on to left back, I have chosen Marc Cucurella because he is again Chelsea's #1 left back who is still in very good form. Solid defensively, great on the counter attack, inverting very comfortably, and also Enzo Maresca has got him doing overlapping runs on that left hand side, which is very interesting to see how our system changes during the game. Marc Cucurella left back. Moving on to left centre-back, I have chosen Levi Colwill. Now, this guy has silently been cooking. Week by week, his performances have been getting better and better. He's becoming more solid defensively, he's becoming more of an aerial threat, and his line-breaking passes are getting better and better. This guy is slowly becoming a leader that Chelsea need. Moving on to the right centre-back, I have chosen Tosin. Now, I understand that Fofana is fit and ready to play, and he did have his knee strapped at the end of the West Ham game as a precaution. But something about Levi Colwill and Tosin as a centre-back pairing, it gave us something different. They were very calm on the ball, very solid, and Tosin is incredible at driving that ball forward from deep and also being good in the aerial duels. So I would really like to see the Tosin-Colwill partnership continue for a little while longer. Moving on to right back, I have chosen Malo Gusto. He is fit, he's ready, he's available. He played 45 minutes against Barrow and you can really tell how much we missed Malo Gusto on the pitch. So he has to play, has to keep fit. His link-up play on that right-hand side and going into midfield against Barrow was fantastic. It was a 45-minute fitness test to make sure he was ready against Brighton, but I don't think Brighton are ready to take on Malo Gusto. Moving on to the left-hand side of that double pivot, I have chosen Moises Caicedo. In recent weeks and most of this season, Moises Caicedo has been getting better and starting to look like that £100 million plus player that we paid for. Especially against Brighton, it's against his old club. I'm hoping that he can perform well and continue his run of form. Moving on to the right-hand side of that double pivot, I have chosen Enzo Fernandez. Now, I personally don't think Fernandez is at his best right now. However, I do feel like he's starting to find a bit of rhythm and find some form, especially partnering with Moises Caicedo. He had a very good game against West Ham and he's starting to find his feet. So hopefully this form can continue and he can get better and better game by game. And the amazing thing about our double pivot this weekend against Brighton is Romeo Lavia is fit and available, which means if Enzo Fernandez or Moises Caicedo doesn't quite cut it, we have the luxury of bringing on Romeo Lavia to change the dynamic in that double six position. Moving on to the left wing, I have chosen Jadon Sancho. This guy has been on fire with 2 assists in 2 games, getting his match minutes and match fitness up to standard. I believe that he will start the game against Brighton and hopefully he can continue his run of form that he's been on. Mykhailo Mudryk has played well against Barrow. However, I think Jadon Sancho still nips him as that #1 left wing spot. Moving on to that number 10 position, I have chosen Mr. Cole Palmer. Now, this guy is being double and triple marked in every single game in central areas, and he is still finding time and space to score goals and get assists. This is truly a world-class player, and he has to play. Moving on to the right wing position, I have chosen Pedro Neto. I think it is time for Pedro Neto to get a start. He played very well against Barrow. His link up with Malo Gusto on that right hand side was frightening, and I think that Brighton will not be able to deal with it. I do like Noni Madueke. He's played very well, but in recent games, he's kind of fizzled out, and I think it's time for him to come on as a substitute against Brighton. And that leaves the number 9 spot for Chelsea. Who will lead the line against Brighton? It's a very tough call when you've got Nicholas Jackson scoring 2 goals and grabbing an assist against West Ham and Nkunku scoring a hat-trick midweek. I have chosen Nicholas Jackson. I've backed this man for a long time. Even though there have been frustrations when he's not played well and we want to see Nkunku play, I truly believe that Nicholas Jackson will be our first choice striker, but Nkunku will get some decent minutes. So this is my predicted Chelsea 11 to face Brighton Saturday, 3 o'clock at Stamford Bridge. Do you agree with this lineup, or would you have different players playing in different positions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you are new around here, make sure you hit that follow button.